In the end for Blackburn Rovers, 2-2 at the New York Stadium, that's right, against Rotherham United, a side that proved to be tricky today, 2-0 in front. They snatched it after a shocking first half from Rovers, and of course a shocking first half from Sammy Smodic, that's right, who had the opportunity to give us the lead from the penalty spot, but missed. Absolute clanger of a penalty for Smodic, but he would have his day. He would have his day in the end. Of course, later on, we'll talk about that shortly. But 2-0 it was with Rotherham. Opening goal from, who was it? Let me recall. Who got the first goal? Was it Odinyema? Odinyema got the second goal. The first goal was a clanger, and I think it was a Dauphin mistake at the back. So let's talk about that. Let's talk how it all broke down here. So first half, Rovers seemed to be in control. Boss possession, created a few chances. And yeah, kind of struck first a little bit with that penalty incident. I believe it was Leonard was brought down in the box. Up steps Sammy Smodic, trying to be all confident, tucked his shorts up into his crotch, really fancied his chances on, of course, to open up the floodgates there. But he hit the woodwork, absolute clanger for Smodic. But the rebound came out to Tyrese, who put it wide. So that was it. The writing was kind of on the wall there for Rovers a little bit as we trailed. We didn't trail, but missed a golden opportunity. Then, of course, a little bit later on, opportunity arose for Rotherham United. And again, it came from a mistake from Sammy Smodic. A loose ball, backwards passing, straight into the possession of a Rotherham man, a Dauphin, who made no mistake. Clinical, put the ball in the back of the net. Pears was beaten, and Rovers were down, 1-0 down. It looked like it was going to be one of those days. But Rovers tried to fight back, but unfortunately, things didn't get much better in the second half. And a brilliant set piece by Rotherham gave them a second goal. Of course, pinged in about 30 or 40 yards out. Straight ball in there, onto the head of Odinyema. Pears was beaten. 2-0. Looks like it was game over, of course. But this young Rovers squad did have some players on the bench. That's right, some game changers. We had Gallagher, we had Hedges, we had Buckley, we had Ennis. All players that could have some involvement in the game. And before we rolled the dice, because that was the secret to our success lay on the bench, but we got a little bit unlucky. Of course, Odinyema with that fantastic headed goal, bullet header, gave Rotherham a 2-0 lead. In amongst all that, he celebrated a little bit too much to cause the attention or grab the attention of the referee. Got himself an easy yellow card, really, as of course the referee adjusted his Rovers supporting underpants, because he was heavily we kind of had the referee in our back pocket today. He was very much a Rovers fan. So Odinyema with a yellow card, that of course was going to bite him in the arse a little bit later on. That's right, of course. There was a bit of play once, of course, Rotherham comfortably 2-0 up. Rotherham had another bit of play, an opportunity for a set piece. I think he was actually taken out, Odinyema, and he actually approached the referee and said, hey, you know what, that deserves a card, in reference to a Rovers player. But guess what? It did result in a card. A second yellow, which of course saw him see red. Wasn't like 2 or 3 minutes ago he was the most happiest man in the pitch because he got what appeared to be a winning goal for Rotherham United. But no, it proved to be decisive as Odinyema was sent off. This was early, very, very early in the second half. So Rotherham down to 10 men. Rovers, a window of opportunity, a glimmer of hope. And of course, JDT rolled the dice, brought on the game changers, brought on Ennis, brought on Gallagher, brought on Hedges, and those fresh legs, of course, taking off these young, inexperienced legs, seemed to, of course, give Rovers a different spark, different approach to the game. We got one back, Sammy Smodic, quick draw McGraw, of course, giving us a 2-1 lead, a 2-1 behind as he pulled one back, and of course it wasn't too long later he got a second. That's right, Smodic, the hero today, turned his game around, turned his whole afternoon around. The first half, absolute Johnny Rotten of a half. Second half, absolutely fantastic. And if he converted that penalty, he could have got himself a hat-trick today, but unfortunately just a 2. And again, the dice was rolled, players came on, we tried to find the winner, but unfortunately, you know what, let's be proud. Let's be proud of this result. We were looking at nothing. We were looking at our first defeat of the season, but we fought back. We held on 2-2. I'll take that all day long. Of course, what's this in the chat? Some cheeky bastard said something in the chat, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm happy. I'll take this all day long. 2-2. We now move on to Hull, of course, coming at you at Ewood Park next weekend. And yeah, if we can get another result there, or a positive result, and just continue this unbeaten start, then the belief will start to sink into these boys that we might have a chance here. It is early, of course. I do want to see investment in the club. I want to see new additions to be made. The question marks, of course, for JDT will now go. We conceded 2 today. You know, does that mean opportunity knocks for the new Swedish goalkeeper? Was Pears at fault? Perhaps. I don't think so. To be fair, the first goal was a clanger, and that was all Smodic. He has to be big enough and ugly enough and brave enough to say, that was me. The second goal was a bullet header. I don't think many keepers would stop that one. So I think Pears is still in the hot seat, still going to be number 1 when this game comes around at Ewood Park next weekend. So yeah, I still think it'll be as you were goalkeeping wise. But yes, we are toothless, still toothless up top. We're relying on goals in midfield. Smodic, of course, on the double today. So we do need to find some goals from our forward players. Gallagher needs to deliver. He had a couple of opportunities, Ennis as well. We even had the ball in the back of the net. Dom Hyam had the ball in the back of the net, was offside. So we were close to taking all 3 points, but we've got to be honest with you. The red card was massively a big favour for us. And as I try to get out of this chair, yeah, we'll take it. We'll take it all day long. 2-2, point in the bag. I don't know what that looks like at the table, but, hey, onward. Today I'll have a detailed review of the game. We'll look at the numbers, and of course we'll even I'm going to bounce out here, though, for now, guys. I appreciate the love and subscribe. Of course, if you're new, smash the old button, thumbs up, and all that kind of jazz. And I'll see you soon, of course, for the review. Very, very soon. Until then, guys, I'm out. How do I end this? How do I...